What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is part 2 of a series of videos discussing the Raidraptor archetype. If you missed the first video, check it out by clicking the thumbnail on screen right now. Otherwise, enjoy this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the main deck monsters available in the Raidraptor archetype. Every single one of them currently out or set to be released in Shining Victories will be discussed. Even the ones that are ultimately not very good. At the point this video is filmed, there are 13 different effect monsters ranging from level 1 to 6 that are either currently TCG legal or will be released in Shining Victories. Keep in mind this video is meant to be a basic information pool for people unfamiliar with the archetype in general, so ultimately if you are already aware of all the Raidraptor cards, then this will just be regurgitating information that you likely already know, and this video isn't really meant for you, unfortunately. So let's start looking at the higher levels and work our way down, shall we? The lone level 6 monster of the archetype is Raidraptor Wild Vulture. It has 1600 attack and 2000 defense. Its effect is if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can tribute this card to special summon any 2 Raidraptors from your hand and or graveyard whose levels together equal 6. Ultimately, its effect is not very useful to the current deck's goal and game plan, and its stats are not the best either. Being level 6 makes it harder to access as Force Strix cannot search it, and it would require a tribute in most cases. If Raidraptors ever got Pendulum support in the future, this card may find some use, but as of now, I ultimately have to classify it as not worth it to run. There are just better options. Speaking of better options, the biggest bulk of the Raidraptor monsters lies in the level 4 card pool, with 9 different monsters between the TCG and OCG card pool, and rightfully so. Spamming level and rank 4s is easily the main function of this deck, as even in card design, those are the most advantage yielding cards that you can just see. Now seems like as good a time as any to explain how I will distinguish cards we currently have in the TCG and cards that are only in the OCG or coming out in Shining Victories. This is obviously subjective to the date the video was uploaded, so make sure to keep that in mind. Cards that we have in the TCG will have a purple border and will also all be discussed first. The cards that are coming in Shining Victories or are OCG only during this filming will have a red border around them and will only be discussed after every TCG option has been talked about, with minor exception. The level 4s we currently have in the TCG are Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius, Tribute Lanius, Sharp Lanius, Fuzzy Lanius, Mimicry Lanius, Singing Lanius, and Necro Vulture. Vanishing Lanius has 1300 attack and 1600 defense. Its effect is if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. If I had to classify which main deck monster is the most important, this card would easily fill that category. Vanishing Lanius' effect allows it to be paired with any other Raidraptor to generate Exceeds plays and trigger effects. The more Vanishing Laniuses you have, the bigger the base of your plays will be, as they can even summon other copies of themselves, and trigger their special summon effects as well. Another thing of note is that you can activate its effect as special summon at any time after it was summoned, thus allowing you to make space for new monsters by overlaying with other monsters clogging your field, as long as you leave the live Vanishing Lanius that hasn't used its effect yet on field to activate later. Tribute Lanius has 1800 attack and 400 defense. Its effect is also very important. This was a very crucial import for us to get in Wing Raiders. During the turn this card was summoned, you can send one Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard. During your main phase 2, if this card destroyed a monster in battle this turn, you can add one quick play rank up magic card from your deck to your hand. The second effect will rarely come up, but it is an option. You can kill things in battle and search things like rank up magic Double Death Force, rank up magic Revolution Force, things like that. But the main selling point of this card is its interactions with Mimicry Lanius. Mimicry Lanius has 1100 attack and 1900 defense. Its effect is if this card was summoned this turn, you can increase the levels of all Winged Beast monsters you control by 1. This allows you a way to access rank 5s without rank up magic cards if necessary, but that doesn't come up very often. The main purpose of this card, and the reason it works so well with Tribute Lanius, is this effect. If this card was sent to your graveyard this turn, you can banish it from your graveyard to add one Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. Notice it says Raidraptor card and not monster. While you can just add more monsters with this effect, you are also open to adding Raidraptor Nest, which is essentially a Black Whirlwind equivalent for this archetype that also happens to recycle graveyard resources to make your early, mid, and late game all better. This interaction makes Mimicry Lanius work very well with Tribute Lanius to advance your plays and mold your game states. Sharp Lanius has 1700 attack and 1000 defense. Its effect is really kind of niche and doesn't come up much, however it is still often played as a one-of at least. Its effect is, if it was summoned this turn, you can target an attack position monster and change it to defense position. During your main phase 2, if this card attacked this turn, you can target one Raidraptor monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Notice that unlike Tribute Lanius, this card doesn't have to kill a monster to get its main phase 2 effect. It only has to attack, thus giving it its own feeling of synergy with its first effect, turning a monster to defense mode, making it to where if you couldn't get over a monster in battle, you can just turn your opponent's monster to defense mode and bump into its defense position, stats with Sharp Lanius, and then main phase 2, get your Raidraptor back, and then out the monster with something like Castell, possibly. Singing Lanius has 100 attack and defense, and it has an effect that really allows you to extend your combos freely, thus making it a very important combo piece. If you control an Xyz monster, you can special summon it from your hand once per turn. The fact that this card doesn't restrict you to only summoning Raidraptors like Fuzzy Lanius or Raidraptor Call do, allow you to really open up your toolbox of rank 4 options in your mid to late game after you've molded everything that you wanted to do with setup. Fuzzy Lanius itself is slightly both better and worse than Singing Lanius. Worse only in the area of being more restrictive, but even then it's rightfully so. It has 500 attack and 1500 defense, and its effect is very similar to that of Blackwing's Bora, Gale, and Chris. If you control a Raidraptor other than Fuzzy Lanius, you can special summon this card from your hand, thus allowing more rank 4 options to be presentable. However, during the turn you use any of Fuzzy Lanius' effects, you can only summon Raidraptors, which is why I mentioned it being restrictive. This is somewhat made up for, however, by its secondary effect. If it's sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can add another copy of Fuzzy Lanius from your deck to your hand. Essentially, that makes it a 100% free combo piece on your way through your Force Strix searches and sets up further rank 4 plays during the next turn, as long as you are going to be able to do so with just Raidraptors if you want to use Fuzzy Lanius in that regard again. The last currently TCG legal level 4 Raidraptor is Raidraptor Necrovulture. It has 1000 attack and 1600 defense. This card ultimately serves no real purpose for the deck, as its only effect is to tribute a Raidraptor to add a rank up magic spell from your grave to your hand. Unfortunately, it becomes very restrictive after that point, and prevents you from Xyz summoning for the rest of the turn, unless it is with a rank up magic card. This, along with the fact that there are other options for recycling your rank up magic spells available, makes this card not really worth playing in my opinion. You could tech one if you wanted to, but ultimately I don't think it's worth it. There are 2 more level 4 Raidraptors that we get in Shining Victories, Raidraptor Avenge Vulture and Raidraptor Booster Strix. Avenge Vulture is 1700 over 100 attack and defense, and can summon itself from your hand whenever you take damage, but restricts you to only specialing Raidraptors for the rest of the turn. Booster Strix has Avenge Vulture's stats but reversed, and its effect is when a Raidraptor monster is targeted for an attack, you can banish this card from your hand to destroy the attacking monster. Avenge Vulture might ultimately not be worth playing, but is still a nice tech that can combo well with Raidraptor Pain Lanius. Booster Strix also seems to just be a nice tech that is a searchable form of protection to protect, your established board in the form of Force Strixes and such, and only time will really tell if people actually play it though. There is one lone level 3 in the Raidraptor archetype, and that is Raidraptor Skull Eagle. It has 1000 attack and 500 defense. It's really a shame that this card isn't level 4, because its effect would have been a great addition to the level 4 Raidraptor pool. If it's detached as an Xyz material to activate an Xyz monster's effect, you can target one Raidraptor card in your graveyard and add it to your hand by banishing the Skull Eagle. It also gives a nifty little attack boost of 300 if it's used as a material for an Xyz summon, but unfortunately the fact that it's not only level 3, but the only level 3 in the archetype, just makes it not worth it to play. The rank 3 you can access with this card isn't even that good either. The last 2 Raidraptor monsters we currently have released between the TCG and OCG are both level 1s, but are both actually quite useful in each of their own ways and regards. Raidraptor Pain Lanius has 100 attack and defense, but functionally is essentially another copy of Singing Lanius that you can summon in the same turn, thus extending your combos further without having to fall back on the restrictive Fuzzy Lanius. Pain Lanius lets you target a Raidraptor you control that has a level. You take damage equal to that monster's attack or defense points, whichever one is the lower number, then you special summon Pain Lanius from your hand and make its level the same level as the monster you targeted. This turns Pain Lanius into just another free level 4 special summon from your hand, and it only restricts you into making Winged Beast Xyz monsters with it. That's it. No other restrictions for your turn. This card is definitely worth it as at least a 1 of when it comes out in Shining Victories, possibly even more. Unironically, the last Raidraptor monster we have is none other than Raidraptor Last Strix. It also has 100 attack and defense like Pain Lanius, but its effect is what makes the card incredibly interesting. Its first effect is if a Raidraptor battles while you have at least one spell or trap on your field or in grave, you can special summon Lastrix from your hand at the end of the damage step and gain 100 life points for each spell and trap card on your field and or in your graveyard. While the life point gain is rarely relevant, this effect does special summon Lastrix for free and thus leads its way into its very good second effect. While it is on the field, you can tribute it to special summon any Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck in defense mode, with its effects negated, and it's returned to the extra deck at the end phase. Your opponent takes no further battle damage for this turn. At face value, this effect doesn't look too great, but when you consider the options of rank up magic cards, suddenly you realize that Lastrix has a rather large amount of utility based around it, basically allowing you to pinpoint whatever Raidraptor you want to use as an overlay material for a rank up magic card to summon the higher ranks and gain whatever intended effect from the higher rank of Xyz monsters you were intending to summon. This has very good applications when Shining Victories comes out, as combining Lastrix with rank up magic Skip Force can allow you to summon the rank 8 Satellite Cannon Falcon with no investment and immediately rank it up into the archetype's ultimate boss monster, the aptly named Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. But otherwise, that is all 13 of the Raidraptor monsters we currently know about. Remember, this video was produced a few months before Shining Victories' TCG release, so any future Raidraptor monsters that get announced afterwards would obviously not be included in this video. Please keep that in mind if you want to leave a comment that says, "Why didn't you talk about this card?" It's probably because the card literally did not exist at the time of me filming this video. But other than that, as always guys, thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more content from me. Be sure to share these videos around if you found them helpful or know someone they might help. Links are in the description of my Facebook pages to connect with me, my Twitch channel I use for live streams if you want to follow that and get notified when I go live, and my Twitch Alerts donation link. If you'd like to directly support me and can find it in the goodness of your heart to donate, then go for it. It would be very much appreciated. It's not required, but it would definitely be appreciated. But otherwise, that is all for this video. Stay tuned for the next part of this series coming out soon, and as always guys, take care.